Welcome to Communication in AAC with me, KSLP. Just a quick recap from our video so far. We've learned that everyone has the right to communicate. Everyone communicates. Everyone can learn how to communicate more effectively, and we teach our kids how to communicate through modeling. When we are little, we all learn language and communication first from modeling. When we look at children who learn to speak, in the first year, every day they are hearing 4,000 to 6,000 words from people around them who are modeling communication, and we celebrate their first word, rightfully so. Then, the second year, they're hearing again 4,000 to 6,000 words daily, and again, rightfully so, we celebrate when they start stringing 1 to 2 words together. And we also have to be patient with AAC users. It's so hard, we want them to communicate so badly, and we put an AAC device or picture symbols in front of them expecting them to just know. But it would be like giving a kid a Corvette and expecting them to learn how to drive. It just doesn't work that way. What needs to happen is that AAC users need communication modeled on their mode of communication all day, in all places, with different people, and again, in the way that they communicate. And we all have to model, not just in speech and language sessions, because if a child is learning to use AAC and communication is only modeled 2 times a week for 20 to 30 minutes, such as when they're in speech session, it will take them 84 years to have the same amount of experience with their device as an 18-month-old child has with spoken language. Starting to model can be scary. It's new, it's a different way of communicating. But we're going to start slow, and we're going to do it together. One of the easiest ways to encourage communication is to set up the environment. Start with a motivating activity. Make sure your child has access to modes of communication, and then you are going to control some access to items to create opportunities to communicate. There are a few things to keep in mind when starting to model. Although you're still going to be talking to your child, you're going to model a keyword on the device or picture symbols while you're interacting to teach communication. And because we are using modeling to teach communication, when you model, don't expect a response. We're inspiring communication, not requiring it at this point. However, after you model, you do want to give wait time, at least 5 to 10 seconds, just to give your child the opportunity to respond. We don't want to move on too quickly and not give them that opportunity. Remember, children hear 4,000 to 6,000 words in their first year of life before they even speak a single word. So if they don't respond, that's okay. Provide the model and go on with the activity. Make sure you don't stop modeling. Let's look at how we can model communication while playing with bubbles. Okay, so before we even get started, we're going to set up the environment to promote communication. So I'm using bubbles as an example because it's usually motivating. If it's not motivating for your child, don't worry, there are more examples to come next month. Make sure that your child's modes of communication are available. Accept gestures, they communicate. And if your child uses picture symbols or an AAC device, is that within your child's reach? Finally, you're going to create communication opportunities by holding the bubbles or the machine. That way it creates the need for your child to communicate. So remember, we're going to start by modeling single words. In this activity, some that will be easier to fit in are go, more, bubbles, want, on, and help. So here's an example of how it could start. Blow a few bubbles or turn on the bubble machine for a few seconds to really increase that motivation. Then stop and model bubbles and wait to see if your child makes a request. If not, that's okay. Remember, we're teaching here. Model again and blow more bubbles or turn on the bubble machine. And then you can create even more communication opportunities by stopping the bubbles. Then you can model more. Give some wait time again. And if your child doesn't request, that's okay. Model more and then start the bubbles again. And this can go on multiple times throughout playing with the bubbles. And that's so many chances for your child to communicate, and so many times that you're teaching your child how to communicate. And some other ideas for modeling is if you're using a bubble machine, you can model on by turning the bubble machine on. You can model go by saying ready, set, and before you say go, model go, and then start blowing bubbles. Finally, you can let your child try to blow bubbles, and if they need help, you can model help. Thank you again for everything that you continue to do, and I look forward to working more closely with you in the future. Thank you.